Hey guys, it's your favorite Unc here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button below so you don't miss a single episode of Nightcap. That button right here. Come for the sports, stay for the stories. Now let's get into it, Ocho. The Lions beat the Bears 23-20, but that wasn't the story of the game. No. Caleb Williams had the second half was as good as he could possibly throw it.
Right.
The plays that he made outside of the pocket, the way he threw the ball from the pocket, and he had a couple of drops in there too, Ocho. Yeah, he was undeterred. He ran. Now, it wasn't smart that you try to get slick and try to, stop on a dime and cut back when you're going on the bounds. Going out of bounds.
We hit him in the knee?
Going out of bounds. They're not going to let you get away with that because they saw what Patrick Mahomes did and they saw guys fooling before. So they're going to punish you if they get there. So just going out of bounds. But it was Caleb Williams got sacked, Ocho. When he got sacked, it was 33 seconds on the clock. They have a timeout. They got one. It's about to be third down. Take your timeout. Now you got 33 seconds. Ocho, even if you don't get it, even if you don't, you still got fourth down. How do you go from 33 seconds and you keep your timeout and you run only one play with 33 seconds? Because if you complete the ball in bounds, Ocho, you should be able to run your field goal unit on the field, get your other players off the field with 18 seconds.
Yeah.
They had, so even a play only lasts, 5, 6, 7? Let's just say for the sake of argument, Ocho, we're going to say the play lasts 10 seconds. Caleb Williams scrambled around. It took him 10 seconds. You still have 23 seconds to get your field goal unit on the field, to get your other guys off the field. That's more than enough time to get the ball snapped, get it held, get it down, and get a kick up.
Honestly, Unc, and I mean no disrespect, I'm all for people having a job. I think it's very important to have a job, but that was coaching malpractice. Not only that was coaching malpractice, I think he must have been betting against the odds out there in goddamn Vegas for not calling that goddamn timeout. That is a fireable offense. I'm not one to ever stand on my soapbox and say that someone should be fired. But for them to have lost the last 5, I think, 5 or 6 games, and this is a game that you had an opportunity to win or at least tie and go into overtime and see what you could do in overtime, I can't believe, Coach did that he didn't call the time. And also on Caleb Williams, understand you have to have better clock management in your head. If your coach is not on point the way he should be and really being on top of the time and how much time you have left, Caleb Williams as a player who's played at the big level out there at USC, you should understand how much time is on the clock and what you need to do in those situations to make sure it doesn't happen again. So this is, for one, the coach, you should already know. You should already know this is coaching malpractice. But Caleb Williams, this is a situation, if it ever comes up again during your tenure in the NFL, understand clock management and how important it is to give your team a chance to either tie or win a game. That's a bunch of bullshit, man.
Keenan Allen said something very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if he said
it was a good shot.
No. Keenan Allen said, as players, we played well enough to win this game.
Bingo. That's a good shot. Think about what he's saying. Think about the underlying tone and what he's saying.
I know the underlying tone. Look, if I'm Matt Eberflus, if I'm Eberflus, Ocho, I would have just took the fine, and I'm not talking to the media after that. Because then he gets up there and says that bull jive that we got what we wanted, and I'm good with it. That's ridiculous. You sound foolish. It sounds like a man that know he made a mistake and want to die on that hill instead of say, God, that's on me. That's on me. I should have called a timeout with 33 seconds.
Right. What's wrong?
How you run one play with 33 seconds is absolutely a fireable offense. And I have never advocated for anyone to lose their job.
Right.
Because I understand how precious jobs are. But you can't continuously make the mistakes that he's making and remain in that position and then come out there and give those bull jive excuses or those bull jive answers to why it's played out. It's too many times. There's a reoccurring theme that if you notice, Ocho, anytime they put a receiver in, it's always a new receiver in. It's always somehow the ball finding. Or they put a new DB in. Somehow the ball always goes his way. You watch it in baseball. The ball somehow always will find him. Basketball, a new guy comes in, somehow the ball damn, we want the ball to end up in your hands with the last second, but damn, here we are.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps coming down, Ocho, to plays like this when you have to understand the situation that your team is in and you have to make split-second decisions. Mm-hmm. He let his team down more times than not.
Yeah, most definitely. Listen, and decision makers like that is the difference between not winning, not losing the past 5 games.
Yes.
The seconds like that. Listen, it's a game of inches. It's a game of inches, and the coaching is one of the reasons why teams win. That's what do you think the difference is in the Detroit Lions before Dan Campbell got there and the Detroit Lions while he is there? That's coaching. That's coaching. That's all it comes down to. Being able to execute the plays. I know some of it is on the players, but also the coaching. It has to come together and work as one. But you can't be coaching like that, that and having a situation like that and want to say the excuse you use and not take accountability. How you think your players feel?
Yeah,
just listen to what Keenan Allen said. Players don't normally react to a game like that and throw the coach under the bus.
Because
there's a disconnect. There's a complete disconnect in the locker room.
Ain't no disconnect. They've lost confidence in their head coach because the thing is with situational football, you have to practice certain situations. You have to practice 4th down. You have to practice 2-minute. You have to practice no huddle. You have to practice being in certain situations. So therefore, if you're in that situation, you'll know how to respond. We practice running the field goal unit on the field, we getting off the field, and it's with 18 seconds. So we practice certain situations. Get out of bounds. Make sure you try to get the ball to the official. Don't throw the ball. Because, look, they're not receivers. They're old. Hand them the ball.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. And like I said, I don't. Jimmy Johnson said in 70 years of being around coaching, he's never seen the level of dysfunction that the Bears have right now. And I can't say that I disagree with him because it's a reoccurring. If Ocho is week after week, I can see if it's a one-time thing, Ocho. That's an accident,
right? But this is, you know what else? And speaking on top of what Jimmy Johnson said, he says he's never seen any kind of dysfunction. It's just not this year. It's just not this year. You're trying to change the culture in Chicago in general. The culture, the winning culture in Chicago, has been going for a very long time. It's been going for a very long time, and being able to contend and compete year in and year out on a consistent basis. All that starts at the top. And in the middle, it starts with the coach. And then it lingers into the players. But so until you get that middle ground the right way, everything else is going to falter. And it starts with little shit like today. It might be little, because it's one game, but it affects the entirety of a season because bad decisions will continue to be made.
Ocho, I don't know what they said, but normally when we would go on the field, especially it's the last drive, we got 2 timeouts. We got 1 timeout. We got no timeout. If you can, get the ball out of bounds. All things being equal, we'll take a 5-yard gain and get out of bounds as opposed to a 10-yard gain and not get out of bounds. So we've already gone through situations that we could potentially see in a game. Yeah. Because there's only one way to handle a situation. It's just like everything else, Ocho. You practice 1st down. You practice 2nd down. You practice 3rd down. You practice goal line and red zone. Okay, there are certain situations. Now you can't practice everything, Ocho, but hopefully you play football long enough, you'll know. With 33 seconds and you got a timeout, after a sack, you automatically take a timeout. I don't know what Eberflus was even thinking.
The funny
That's
thing about
the first thing you do because the official is standing right there by you.
Yeah.
That's the side judge. He right. Hey, timeout.
And the funny thing about it is you could have ran that play, right? No, you could have called that timeout, ran another play, and I'm not sure what your signal was, Unc, where the special teams is already ready, and we used to yell, fire. The offense hurries up. There's enough time on the clock. There would have been enough time on the clock. You come out and you kick the field goal, and hopefully before the clock hits 0, you have them execute that field goal and tie the game and take it into overtime, and then boom, now you got a fresh start and hoping you can get down there and score.
It's
an even ball game at that point. But you don't even get a goddamn chance.
and they had the momentum. They had played extremely well yesterday. They had the momentum in the ball game. I thought Detroit got away from running the football. There's another Ocho. At some point in time, you're gonna have to start making excuses for Jameson Williams. You got to stop. You've got to stop making excuses for him.
Oh, the fumble?
No, that's Gibbs. The hitting the guy in the face with the football that's standing on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
He almost cost his team.
Yeah.
That's the kind of the immaturity. I'm trying to figure out what could the guy possibly, he on the sideline. Bro, why are you talking? You're not even in the game. Let that sink in for a second. You're not even in the game and you talking.
Right.
Get in the game first and then I'll address you. I ain't addressing nobody on the sideline.
Right.
What made it even more egregious is that it was after the play. So the down already counted. So now they back you up 15 yards. Then he gets to the sideline and he's arguing with Antoine Randall trying to explain what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, shut up. There's no offer with no explanation. In the words of the great Billie Holiday, hush, now don't explain. What are you trying to...
Hold on. Hey, in the great words of who? What you know about Billie Holiday?
I'm trying to figure out, Ocho, what's his explanation?
Right.
Everybody saw what you did. He said something, you turned and flipped the ball in his face. You lucky he didn't run and put his foot in your ass.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for you. Now that we talk about the Bears. Now I understand what Jameson Williams did. You know, I'm gonna talk to Young Bull. I got Young Bull on the line too. So I'm gonna talk to him. And you can't do that. You can't coach your team, especially as well as y'all are doing right now. But what you think about chat? Y'all tell me what y'all think now. What you think about Bill Belichick to the Bears? I think wherever Bill Belichick goes, as long as they have a defense and a quarterback that you can work with. Caleb Williams is a quarterback that you can work with. He's someone that you can win with based on his skill set and what he can do for him. What do you think about that? Just because what I'm gonna do on Wednesday when we do Inside the NFL, I'm gonna bring it up on the show. Bill, what do you think about your opportunity in having a coaching job in Chicago? There's a defense, a very adequate defense that you can work with. One of the better corners in the league, and Jalen Johnson, that's my little nephew. You got a quarterback that you can develop and mold and understanding what it takes to win. I mean, who says no to that? Then you have an organization that's going to give you the keys. They're going to give you the keys because you have an understanding on what it takes to win, what it takes to build a winning team. Here, you got 6-7 Super Bowls. You want to go get that coaching record from Don Shula. You want to break that, right? Now, boom, you have organizations that are going to give you the keys and allow you to build the team you need to build to be able to contend and compete in that NFC. Why not take it?
Yeah, because that division ain't coming back. This is what Eberflus when he addressed after the game, he said, "Our hope was that we re-rack that play at 18 seconds, throw it in bounds, get into field goal range, and then call our final timeout." So you see, Ocho, he doesn't understand. You don't need to call a timeout. With 18 seconds, that's more than enough time to get your field goal unit on and off the field.
Way more.
That was where we was in our decision-making process on that. We were outside of field goal range, no jive, Sherlock, and needed to get a few more yards in there as close as we can get. We're going to call timeout. That's why we held the last time. So in other words, now you go into next week, you got 4 timeouts in the first half. Oh, no, you can't use that timeout. Disappointing for our players. They put a lot of work on a short week and put themselves in position to win that game. They did, and you denied them that. That part you got right. On a short week, our players, we didn't play the best first half, but we played an outstanding second half, and we put ourselves in position to win the game. And my boneheaded play, my boneheaded situational awareness, cost our team a game. Yeah. More games are lost than won in the NFL. Exhibit A. I would like to present this, Your Honor. Exhibit A of how games are lost. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get how he continuously finds himself. If you notice, Ocho, like I said, when you make bonehead plays,
Yeah.
Somehow you always find yourself in that situation week after week until you correct it, until you rectify said situation.
Yeah.
Bro, call the timeout. Ocho, call the timeout. You can run your, like I said, if the play only costs you 8 seconds, I gave you 10 on the long end. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you Caleb understands that you can't run around. But I don't get it. And I said it in real time. I was like, what is he thinking? What the hell was he thinking? Why would you not call a timeout with 33 seconds left? I don't know.
Everybody said the same thing. Again, it's coaching malpractice. It made me think he had money on the game to do something like that, to not even give your team a chance to win, especially with what you've been through week in and week out with the losing, the close games, the games you played well. I mean, like, come on, man, give yourself a chance. There are multiple scenarios when you're down in that situation that should already be going and be playing in your head, not just the one you explained at the goddamn podium. There are multiple scenarios that you should play on. Okay, what do I need to do? Split decision, fast decision making. You know, if you don't have it, then your quarterback got to have it. But your quarterback is supposed to be learning from you. So if you ain't got it and you the head man, nigga, how he's supposed to know it? But that's neither here nor there. Caleb would know and have a better understanding of time, you know, and how much time you have to use, you know, as he gets older and a little bit more mature in the NFL and understanding.
And explain that to him. Let him know, hey, we got one timeout, Caleb. So, hey, if you get sacked, don't be afraid. Let's not be afraid to use that timeout.
Yeah.
The Lions notched their first Thanksgiving win in 8 years. Jared Goff threw 2 touchdowns to Sam Laporta. Goff 21 of 34, 221, 2 touchdowns. While the Detroit ground game, led by Montgomery and Gibbs, ran for 194 yards on 37 carries. They got. I mean, that third quarter went by so quick. It was like Chicago got a possession, scored a touchdown. Detroit got a possession, scored a touchdown. And Chicago ran 2 more plays and the quarter was over.
Yeah.
So what you needed, Chicago, the Lions couldn't get off the field on third down, Ocho. They get them in third and long. It didn't matter. Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams made some great throws. Guys ran great routes. Guys got open. Yeah. And Detroit couldn't get them off the field on third down. And so tick, 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 you keep your offense off the field. Now they get out of sync. And the next thing you know, Chicago makes this game close. Probably should have went to overtime at worst case scenario, and we see what happens in there. But Chicago, the players played well enough, but it was their coach that made a bonehead decision that cost them the game.